Hey everyone, let's go take a trip to LaGuardia Airport. Plans to build a rail link to LaGuardia were scrapped earlier this year, so the most economical way to get here will be the bus for the foreseeable future. To be honest, I end up taking an Uber when I need to catch a flight from here most of the time, but the bus really isn't that bad. Most of the flights from here are domestic, but there are a few international ones, and today I'll be flying with Air Canada Express to Montreal. Check-in was simple, and it didn't take us long to print out our boarding passes and check our bags. I know I've said it before, but the new LaGuardia Airport is beautiful, and I love the mosaics in the ticketing area. Each time I come here, I think I spot another cool image paying homage to the history and culture of the city. It's almost a shame to have to go through security, but then there's the awesome fountain to look forward to. LaGuardia doesn't have US Customs and Border Protection facilities, but Air Canada and Air Canada Express are able to operate flights from here because the airports in Toronto and Montreal both have US border pre-clearance. Air Canada has been operating out of LaGuardia for about 75 years, and currently have 3 gates along with their own lounge in Terminal B. I'm flying in economy today, so I can't visit their lounge, but it looks pretty cool from the outside. LaGuardia sees around 30 million passengers per year, and is one of the busiest airports in the US. We ended up getting here way too early, but thankfully we were able to snag a table with a good view of the apron. Our flight was scheduled to leave at 8:15, but we received a notification that it was delayed, so we watched the planes go by for a bit longer and eventually headed to the gate. And once we got to the gate, there was a notice saying that our flight was now leaving at 6:30 in the morning, which was not welcome news.
Don't mind the boat behind us that says 6:30 in the morning. This is not your flight, the flight is here.
Fortunately, that was just a mistake, and the airline made an announcement to calm everyone down. Our plane was actually sitting at the gate, and we didn't have to wait long before it was time to board. This evening's flight to Canada will be aboard a CRJ900 operated by Jazz Aviation. There's a total of 12 recliner-style business class seats in the front of the plane and 64 economy seats in the back. I ended up sitting in 23F, which was a nice seat. The tray table was large, and there was plenty of storage space in the seat back pocket. The seat reclined, and there were overhead reading lights and air vents. And to my surprise, there was a seatback IFE system that had a USB charging port.
On tonight's flight to Montreal with my colleague Lawrence. It's to be closed at this time. Main cabin door is now closed, ready for departure. Very quick flight tonight to Montreal, very quick 15 minutes. Enjoy your short flight with us.
Boarding didn't take that long, and soon enough we were making our way out to the runway.
Toss the seat back in front of you and press your head against your arms.
Jazz Aviation is based out of Nova Scotia and is Canada's 3rd largest airline by fleet size. They provide regional and charter services throughout North America, primarily under contract to Air Canada. They operate 4 types of planes and have 35 of these CRJ900s. This was my first time flying with Air Canada, or any airline contracted by Air Canada, and I was looking forward to seeing what it was like. Once we reached cruising altitude, I began to settle in for this short flight to Montreal. I was surprised to see that there was Wi-Fi, and it was pretty easy to access. Plans were available to serve for access messaging apps starting from $1 Canadian. I didn't bother to try it out though. After we got up into the air, the crew got to work serving refreshments. There were a bunch of snacks and drinks that you could purchase off the in-flight menu, but I decided to go with some apple juice and Biscoff cookies, which were free. The snack service wasn't elaborate, but it was nice to have on such a short flight. Once it was cleared away, I decided to take a look at the IFE system. The IFE system wasn't the newest, and there was a bit of a lag which made scrolling difficult, but I was still impressed that there was a seatback system on a CRJ900. There were a few categories to choose from, and a solid selection of movies were available. There really wasn't enough time to watch anything, so I just sat back, relaxed, and looked at the in-flight map. And before I knew it, the fasten seatbelt sign was on, and the crew got the cabin ready for landing.
Landing in Montreal in just a few moments. Can return to your seat, fasten your seatbelts, make sure all your hand luggage is safely stowed.
This was only a short flight, but I had a good experience overall despite the delay. I thought the crew was very nice, and I was impressed that the plane was outfitted with both seatback IFE screens and Wi-Fi. And for about $100, it really wasn't all that expensive.
On behalf of Air Canada Express and also Air Canada, member of the Star Alliance, we thank you for joining us tonight, pleasuring on board with us, and wish you a very pleasant night here in the Montreal area. Thank you. Good night to all here in Montreal.
After taking this flight, I'd like to book a seat with Air Canada aboard one of their larger planes like their 787. Have you ever flown aboard their Dreamliner? If so, let me know what it was like below. And that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.